Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 686. Now, in today's episode, we're talking about interesting to me, and hopefully it'll be interesting to you, of what I learned for investing $24,000 US into a mastermind. Now, before you think about it, stay and listen, because everything I'm about to say is going to be transferable into any goal, dream, or problem that you're experiencing in the most profound way, okay? I was just saying there's being broadcasted live on YouTube and Facebook and everything, so feel free to join us. But I was saying that if there's a solution in another area, in another niche or another category of life, there's usually a psychology of success, a recipe of success that leaves clues that you can actually utilize in different areas of your life. So the issue that you're experiencing. So although you're like, well, Joseph, I'm not into business and I'm not an entrepreneur, which are mainly my clients, like professionals who want to go up the career ladder, or entrepreneurs and so on, who want to let go of the imposter syndrome, still go ahead and listen, because it's going to be really, really interesting in the takeaway of what I'm about to say. So, first of all, I think it's a good idea to say, look, why, Joseph, are you investing $24,000 into a business mastermind? Well, number one, I am so into investing into myself, because it is I'm my greatest asset. You are your greatest asset. You can say, well, Joseph, I have children or I have other things, but look, if you're not healthy, if you're not good, and you're not exactly where you want to be, then you are doing yourself and other people a disservice. If you're not developing your psychology, you're not developing your success and your happiness and your peace by not investing. So if someone says, look, Josie, that's way too much, I'm saying that's not enough. I want to learn more and I will invest more. That's just one aspect. There's so much more that I'm investing in every single month. So I make zero apologies about investing in myself. In fact, I urge people to do the exact same thing. If you are an athlete, then you want to hire the best coach. Don't figure it out by yourself. If you are someone who has confidence issues, anxieties, and worries, invest in someone who knows the solution to that. I mean, that's what I solve. If you want to get better at losing weight, then you hire someone and invest in someone who can show you that. So see it not as a cost, but a profound investment into your future to get yourself out of pain. That's the deal here. Getting yourself out of pain to be able to be the person you want to be. Now, in the relationship to me, I wanted to do this because, look, my business fuels my free work. It really, really does. If I just did free work all the time, and people actually complain about me even advertising on the podcast about my services like it should all be free. When you look at other podcasts, they have like 10 minutes of ads. But I need to be able to invest in myself and my business so we can make a bigger impact together. So it can allow me to do more free work, or to, in my personal life, like say, if I want to give to charity or support my family or my neighbor or my friend. It is so important that there is this balance there. So the reason why I went on this $24,000 mastermind is I wanted to level up my mind and my business so I can help and reach more people in the world. I'm not satisfied at just 12 million downloads. I want us to go as far and wide as possible. So with that being said, knowing what I'm about to say, you can apply to everything that you're going through right now. No matter if it's not about business or making an impact in the world. Apply it to the imposter syndrome, apply it to your anxiety, apply it to your relationships, all of that stuff, because it is totally applicable. And actually, it gets you out of a mindset. It gets you to think differently. Right? You got to think different. You got to get out your own way. So the first thing that I began to learn when I did this is that I need, and I think we all do, number one, we need to be committed and we need to have accountability. When I invested that amount of money into myself, it makes me accountable. It makes me committed. And I say this to coaches who are like really struggling in business, is that they're not charging what they're worth, and therefore the people who go into some, not all, but some people do not see the value in the investment. And I tell you this, if you had two cars in front of you, one was say a BMW and the other was a BMW, both the exact same color, exact same year, exact same mileage, literally the exact same car, but the price points were different. Let's just say one was $10,000 and the other one was like $500. Which one would you be willing to risk your children in every single day? I would be thinking, oh my goodness, there could be something wrong here, right? There could be something a little bit off when it comes to a $500 car. Not all the time, but as an analogy to consider and think about. And customers and people see that because they're not invested. So realize, look, if you want to change, if you want to grow your mind and body, if you want to hit your goals and dreams, you have to be committed. You've got to be invested into the outcome. You can't be less committed and less invested than the person that you're working with. They can't win it for you. You see, I was saying on a group coaching call with my people today is that I'm in their corner. I'm fighting for their dream. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get them out of pain and get them to the freedom that they desire. So they've got to match my commitment. They've got to match the accountability. And that level of investment for me was that level of accountability. I've got to show up. I'm not made of money. I want to be able to grow. I want to be able to invest, and I want to get a return. And that's all on me. I've got to be accountable. And we've got to ask ourselves, are we being accountable right now when it comes to our goals and our dreams? And by accountable, it doesn't have to be just about money. It's about time. We only have so many units in the day. Let's say we have 24 units, 1 unit for each hour. How many units in the day are you really truly investing into your development as a person, as a way of being in this world, to get you out of that absolute pain that you feel when it comes to the fear, the worries and the doubts and the anxieties and the imposter syndrome? If we're not investing in the units of time, then we're going to struggle. And sadly, this is just the way that the mind is usually wired up. It equates value onto the action. So if we devalue the action because say it's free, then your chances are, I won't do it. Like, how many books have we read or bought and not actually really read? How many programs have we purchased for like $10, $15 and not really done anything with? Some of us have. Some of us do it sometimes, but if it's a significant amount, I'm like, wow, I am going to make sure I'm not only going to get it back, but I'm getting interest on this tenfold, that I want to be able to make a huge impact in the world. So number one, we need to be more committed and more accountable. And that's what I learned from the event. Everyone there was committed to their dream. Everyone there was accountable for their success and their happiness. And when you get people into one environment, or if you work with people, say for example, like in my program, we have a small amount of people, but we celebrate together, we speak with one another, we see each other on the screen, and we're like cheering each other on. And I see you and I'm like, look, there's what we got to do. There's the plan of action. When you get people of a like mind into that room, no matter what it is, it could be local, it could be in a digital Zoom world and things like that, but you are all accountable for each other's goals and dreams. We lift each other up, we shine, we rise up our energy. And really, if you go deeper to it, the second thing is you are the sum of your environment most of the time. Because your unconscious mind is absorbing all the information that you're not consciously aware of, from the advertising to the news to the social to the people in your life saying what to do, how to do it, what you can do or not do. Not necessarily lifting you up, having different agendas, having different intentions, and having different communication models, which makes us feel like we're separated. It makes us feel like that actually, who am I to be the person that I want to be? Who am I to really go for that goal and dream when my environment is saying no? So the people on the event that I go to and the group that I'm a part of, we are cheering each other on, but also on the inside, we are seeing examples of that success. In and day out, they are getting better and stronger, and we are the observers of that, just like they are observing our success as we go through that transformation of, in say, a context of confidence and self-certainty. Imagine if you see someone getting that promotion, adding an extra $5,000 to their business, and let's just say you wanted that. Maybe it's $100,000 and you wanted that, and you see a direct example of someone doing that in your close vicinity for the first time, and that's been your goal and dream. That's amazing. That's absolutely phenomenal, because we're not used to that. In the context of who I work with and the people that I surround myself in this so-called mastermind, we are both very similar to our goals and our dreams and our desires. So it's a direct example of what can be done. It is evidence. It is evidence that what is possible. Usually we don't see evidence. We see it from a distance, we see it from afar, but once you have someone in your life or you surround yourself with people who are getting there and examples, and then you become the example to other people, you rise up. You're standing on the shoulders of giants. You're seeing a direct impact from other people, and you absorb that like a sponge. So if you really want to get successful, if you really want to hit your goals and dreams in any endeavor, you got to make sure you're accountable and that you are totally committed. But then number two, surround yourself with the people that will help you get there. They'll take you by the hand and lead you forward. They've traveled that path before. They're an example, and you're just following that well-trodden path rather than trying to go through this overgrown jungle of trying to get to where you want to be. These people are going, look, hey, just follow me. There's what we do. It's easy. I've done this 100 times. Don't worry. I've got your back. I'm looking after you. Take my hand and I'll take you with me. That's what I try to do in my business, you see, and that's why I like that model of showing people the way. And ultimately, you are the sum, not of just the people around you, but your environment as a whole. So from the news and the social and the cultural and the people and everything. So you got to make sure that you tip the scales in your favor. And you have to be accountable to that. You got to be accountable to who you invite into your life. You can invite good people, you can invite bad people. Sometimes we make the mistake between the two types of people. It can be a hard mistake to make, but you've got to get better at choosing and getting the right people into your life who can support you on your goals and dreams and allow you to be that kind of person that you really, really want to be. And that goes into, like, very similar. The third thing which I thought of was that, and I kind of mentioned it already, but it is modeling that success. If you've got some ingredients and you want to make a recipe, you want to make this food, but you don't have the recipe, you're going to not create that perfect food. But if someone hands you the perfect recipe and you follow the instructions, there's no pain. There's no way that you're going to fail. Because you turn up the oven at the right temperature, you put it in the right ingredients in the right order, and you go ahead and go through the recipe, and it's easy and simple. It's like a cookie cutter example of just getting successes. So once you are modeling success, you have the strategy to get to where you want to be. And one of the biggest issues that I've noticed with people, if we look at the counter, sometimes we just feel like we're in effect, so therefore we're not committed, we're not accountable, we have reasons as to why we are, and we buy into those too much and think we're unfixable. And we surround ourselves with people who aren't really lifting us up and growing with us. And usually we do not have a model example of how to get to where we want to be. But once you find that model and you apply it, it goes, and these are all congruent with each other. I mean, I guess commitment and accountability is the first stepping stone to get to that place. But the others are very much congruent and go along with each other. And the next one I've really thought of is that you do not know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Let's just say you want to be able to get to become a business owner, earn X amount of $1,000 every single month, and let's just say you've never done it before. Well, struggling in the dark is not going to help you. You don't know what you don't know, so you need to find people who do know. Like if you've got an issue of anxiety or lack of confidence, guess what? I know the solution to that. I've got a system for it. It works every single time, and we support people, we take them by the hand. So they don't know how to get out of that pain of the anxiety and the fear. They don't know how to get out of that self-sabotage. They don't know their root cause of all of that pain. Guess what? I can do it very, very quickly. It's got to be on that like 1-to-1-ish level because everyone experiences something differently, but that's my expertise or a part of it. So you're going to make sure that if you don't know what you don't know, you find someone who does know how to get there, who can once again give you that recipe, and then to realize that there is the shortcut to success. If you want to be able to be successful in any endeavor, whether it be relationships, health, career, business, any of it, once you start to apply yourself and surround yourself with people and you're committed and you're invested, you get that shortcut. You don't have to struggle alone. Do you know one of the biggest, and there's my real hopeful learning to you, I've been on both sides of the equation. I have struggled. I have gone so into trying to find the success, and when it did not happen, it hurt. It made me feel worse. It made me feel like more of a failure. It made me feel like this is why I'm not good enough. You see, I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't have that shortcut, so I was trying to try out all these different things, and each time it didn't work. And you'll probably get this. If you've seen 5 people to help you get to where you want to be and it hasn't worked, you're going to probably unconsciously and even consciously presume, well, that means someone else is not going to help me. That means I'm broken. I am unfixable. And there's nothing further from the truth from that. The truth is you got to find the right person who knows how to get you to where you want to be. And that's what I want to learn. Like I've been struggling of not knowing, and then I started to invest in myself and learn about business to be able to help and support my endeavor of helping people on a global level. When I didn't know that, I acquired that, and then I was like, I'm getting returns here. It's not that hard. The more I invest, the more I learn. Interesting. The more I go all in on my goal and dream and get the right people to support me, the better I am. The more I can support people, the more I can help people, the more I can hopefully, like, I don't want to sound too presumptuous, but I really, really want to transform the world. It's one of my missions. That's why I don't mind doing all this for free, right? I know people are in pain, and I want to fuel that and expand it. I want people out of pain. And if my program gets people out of pain with that shortcut, then I'm going to make sure I'm going to learn how to reach more people to be able to get them into that place. So you want to be able to find the shortcut to your success rather trying to go your own way. You might get there, by the way. You might get to where you want to be. But my problem is the time that we have left. Life is the longest thing we ever do in life, right? But it's also getting shorter by the moment. Think about that. We don't want to be wasting more pain, more energy, more stress of breaking up relationships or having bad relationships or not having the financial abundance we desire and deserve because it allows us to help more people. The empowerment of the career trajectory expanding so we fulfill our dreams and goals, or to do something that we love each and every day. The more we're not doing that, it means we're spending more time in pain. And to be a little bit strong and hard with this, time is running out. I want us to wake up to the fact this pain is not good for us. It is absolutely damaging and stressing the physical biology of us. Stress breaks the chain of good health. So the more we're anxious, the more we're fearful, the more we're worried, And I have no apologies about saying this, like, Joseph, why are you getting all negative on me? Well, I don't want you to get ill. I don't want you to get burnt out. I don't want you to one day not be able to turn back to good health. I want you out of it, so take it as at least a wake-up call to look seriously and go, look, the more I'm in pain, the more it hurts me. The more it hurts me and my health, it hurts everyone in my environment. My friends, my family, my children, my pets, my future. You've got to get out of that pain. And that's why I'm a total advocate of finding the shortcut to success by finding people who have done it hundreds of times, thousands of times. For when you do, you can get there in lightning speed. Like, take my program, I've condensed like 2 decades of learning, 2 decades of investing, probably like $250,000, $500,000 into growing my mind into how to get better at solving issues. So you don't have to. You don't have to spend $500,000. You don't have to go through that pain. You don't have to go through the pain of trying things and applying things and it not working. You get straight to the shortcut. You just get to the recipe that you just go, oh, well, that's simple. That's easy. Now I'm good enough. Now I feel worthy. Now I can get that job and career. I don't have to experience the imposter syndrome. The weirdest experiences sometimes I have is I wake up sometimes, and it could be throughout the day, and I go, oh my goodness, it's really weird. I know I'm enough. I just know it in my bones. Where such a counter-example as to how I used to feel. I used to feel it all the time. And now it's out of my mind, out of sight. I don't think about it. So when I do sometimes think about it, it really surprises me. The fact that I can be in front of an audience. Just being in front of 1,500 people when 18-year-old Joseph and below would have been petrified in front of 5 people he didn't know. So it's amazing what you can do once you get that shortcut to success. So learn from my mistake and start now. What do they say as the analogy? The best time to grow a tree is like 2 decades ago. The second best time is right now. So do what it takes. And we're speaking of finally, like, we don't know what we don't know. Well, the mentor, your coach, who you hire, can objectively and subjectively, of course, based on their experience, but they can see things you don't see because you're stuck in your own way. You've been programmed for so long, you've been thinking this way for so long that your reality is bent to see it in a certain way. You're seeing it through the prism and the mirror or the glass of I'm not enough or I'm an imposter. Well, if you say, then take me, and I see you, and I see your magnificence, and I see the strategy, I go, look, this is the core issue. Let's let go of this. You couldn't see that because you are so stuck in being in the experience. You're so stuck in the issue that you can't see the solution. So when you get someone on your team and you invest in that way, they can see what you're doing. An example of this would be, just randomly came up to me, it's like golfers. You can learn, what do they call it? I don't even know, like tee off, that's the word. Now, when you get an instructor who can see your physical body moving, and let's say you're doing a terrible job, that instructor could just go, do you know what? Just make your hips a little bit more central. And I'm not a professional golfer, by the way. I'm terrible at it. But let's just say that was it. It can't be the case of just physically moving your hips and then using the power from the body, maybe, making that one up. And then suddenly you hit the ball so cleanly and so perfectly. It was just that 1 or 2 small tweaks that allowed that person be a bad golfer to a very competent one. Maybe even a great one with that right shift. So you need to learn those shifts, and the only way you can shift your thinking, your life, your success, your happiness, your abundance is to find someone who can see what you're doing wrong to then refine it and evolve you to be the person you want to be. So I really highly suggest it. Like I said, is I don't mind spending $24,000 every single year at a bare minimum. And I know not many people can even earn that per year. but I take it out of my business to be able to re-put it in my business, and therefore it makes an impact on hopefully many people in the world. But I also didn't ever have that amount of money once. It's not like it just came to me. My family growing up, we were pretty poor. My mum once told me that they didn't eat sometimes so we could be fed. I had all the hand-me-downs. All of that stuff, being the youngest of 3 children. We only went out to dinner on our birthdays. That was our special treat, and not all the time either. You had to choose sometimes. Do you want a present? Do you want to eat out with the family? So I know what it's like to be on the one side. I know what it's like to be the struggling business person, the struggling hypnotherapist. But each step along the way, I was like, I'm going to invest myself. Even when I did not have it, I had a card which would assist me. That's just my belief. I can spend my way out of trouble. I can. I just got to find the right solution to get me there. That's why I don't mind that, because if it returns that freedom and success, then that means I can start to grow my wealth. I can grow my business. I can grow that helping the world and be an example of what can be done. So remember, one of the things that we really started with was commitment and also your accountability. Be accountable. Be committed to your dream. Then to realize that you're the sum of your environment. So surround yourself with people who are inspirational to you, who have the solution or are walking toward the solution. And that means you have the perfect strategy that you can start to apply. And also, look, unconsciously, it gives you permission to do the same because now you have evidence. And that means we can then model and be inspired by those people of what can be done. And remember, we don't know what we don't know. So we need to be able to upgrade that. We need to be able to look for that transformation, that expertise. We want to be able to get that shortcut to success rather hopelessly maybe getting there in the future, but wasting so much pain, so much time, so much sleepless nights, so much fatigue, so much health, so much fill in the blank by not just getting that shortcut to success by looking for the right person. And remember, the last thing I said was the mentor can see things that you can't see in your life. That little shift in that body of the hips when it came to the golfing example, that one little bit of a technique, that one small shift could change the whole trajectory and the whole path of your success in lightning speed. So do whatever it takes. I promise you. Even if it's not me. Like, let's just say you have a goal to lose weight, and I don't work with people who want to lose weight. Find someone who can help you lose weight, who has lost weight, who's been an example, who's done it over and over again. Surround yourself with people who have done that. Whatever it is, you find that solution. Like, for example, if you've got imposter syndrome, if you have worries and doubts and anxieties and fears, you're a professional and you're a business person maybe, or an entrepreneur, or you're just so highly committed to get out of the pain, you're willing to go all in, then you might want to apply to my program. It's 8 weeks and we let go of that set of symptoms by finding the root cause and letting go of it. But it is application only, and you can go ahead and do that by going to josephclough.info/talk. At josephclough.info/talk, you go ahead and book a time to speak with us. Well, then you fill out an application. It's information which will help us, and we'll get clear on exactly where you are. We'll get clear on exactly where you want to achieve. We'll figure out the kind of things which are getting in your way, and then we'll come up with a plan to best make it a reality. It's fully tailored and customized for your needs. So that's josephclough.info/talk. Get out the pain right now. Do whatever it takes. Invest in yourself. And if that pushes up against your boundaries, that's okay. I'm at peace with that as well. But I really want you to get out of pain. I want you to have the success that you deserve. Because you do deserve it. You don't always realize this, but you do. Deep down, you are more than what you could ever imagine. I want to be in your corner. I want to fight with you to your dream. Not fight with you, but fight for you and your dream. And therefore, we can live a life and we can be the example, make the world just better. You are the difference that makes the difference, in my opinion, by you being in this world. So it's time to rise up and shine. So once again, it is josephclough.info/talk. And therefore, you can communicate with us. You can apply to be on the program. You'll be invested, committed, and decisive. But that is what we do week in, week out. I've learned all the hard steps. I've invested all the money so you don't have to. Well, there's an investment. It is significant as well. But you don't have to go into the $500,000 investment or $250,000. I don't know how much I've spent on my development. But I just want you out of pain. So with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you in a future episode. Realize you're worth more than you could ever imagine. You've just got to resolve the root cause at an unconscious level, rather trying to change it at a conscious level. So with that, I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks and goodbye.